"What's this?" exclaimed the devil. "Well, first let me thank you for the 10 years of debauchery. Many wonderful memories. Also, for the investment advice and vast wealth. My family is all set for many generations. Per our signed contract here is one soul." David arrived at the rendezvous early. He had been waiting 10 years for this moment. 10 years of rehashing the hardships he'd faced as he was younger. Seeing his family lose their house because of a clause in the mortgage contract when he was barely becoming a teenager. Seeing his mother being left with nothing when his father abandoned them because of a loophole in her prenup when he was 14. Seeing the insurance company refuse to pay her life insurance because she had tried smoking weed to diminish her pain weeks before her passing when he was 17. He had sworn then that he would make things right. He took massive debts to go to the best law school in the country, studied hard, got his law degree and aced the bar exam, only to open a nonprofit. His goal was to help the people before they signed contracts and to help them fight unfair loopholes. And he did what was just. Met his wife working on a case, and while it was very rewarding emotionally, he eventually has to admit that his business was going under because he was fighting huge legal teams by himself for clients that didn't have the funds to pay him properly. One night while he was in the office, alone, late, reminiscing on how he never really got to live his life and invested it all in his true purpose, which was about to fail, he slammed his fists on his desk and shouted furiously, "I would give anything to keep doing this work and be able to live my best life and support my family." The shout came out with a hint of jealousy in it towards the people who had made his life horrible and had gotten away with it. The voice came out from behind him, from the dark corner where his library full of references he'd soon be forced to sell was standing. "Anything?" It had an inquisitive, yet intimate tone to it. As David turned around, he saw the devil standing just over his shoulder. He pulled out a contract detailing how he, David Woodbaker, would get to live his best life for the next 10 years. How he would be able to help the people he wanted to help, to have all the money he needed and to have all the experiences he wished he had when he was younger. And at the end of his 10 years, he would, in exchange, give the devil his soul. David had to refrain from gasping when he saw it. There was a mistake in the contract. A loophole. He wouldn't owe his soul but merely the sole of his shoe. He greedily signed the paper, bid the devil farewell and went on to live the best 10 years of his life. Now, 10 years after that fateful night, David was back in his old office to give the devil his due, and he showed up at the exact moment he had told David he would. David smiled and extended his arm towards his visitor. "What's this?" exclaimed the devil. "Well, first let me thank you for the 10 years of debauchery," said David. "Many wonderful memories. Also, for the investment advice and vast wealth. My family is all set for many generations. Per our signed contract here is my soul." He was standing there, one shoe off his foot, soulless, lying on the ground. "Poor David," said the devil. "Many read the contract wrong but..." "No," exclaimed David, triumphantly. "Take the contract out, it clearly spells out that in exchange, you wanted my soul. SOLE not SOUL. I gave you a soul so we're good." The devil smiled, calmly, and produced the contract David had signed all those years ago. "Yes, I know what it says, but as I was about to tell you before being rudely interrupted, you must read the contract. See, the contract states that you owe me your soul, with a capital S." The devil pointed at the line where the S was clearly bigger. "People often think they owe me their soul as if I don't have enough of those already. What you signed away is not your life, it's your sole purpose. The thing that drives you, that keeps you going. And this is what I'm here to collect tonight as per our agreement." He snapped his long, twisted fingers and the high-pitched sound reverberated for a while. When David looked around, he was still alive, his soul in the middle of this office that now, somehow, made him sick. What did those people ever do for him anyways? Where were they when he struggled? They could barely thank him properly after he saved them their whole life savings. And his wife and kids, that he used to cherish more than anything, now felt like they were around him only for the money he was bringing home. Bunch of leeches. He muttered before leaving and taking a room at a nearby hotel. No one ever really understood why, on that fateful night, David decided to transfer all his assets in the Caymans, why he left his wife, abandoned his kids and fought them in court for years to prevent them from getting child support or alimony. None of his friends understood either why he suddenly closed his practice to become a contract lawyer for a major bank, drafting mortgage contracts. All they knew from looking at him is that he seemed like he no longer had fire in his eyes. Like he'd given up all hope and had sold out. Little did they know how accurate their guess was. They just didn't know that what broke David the most was when the devil leaned over before disappearing and whispered, "Your father had the same expression when he tried to pull this one on me. He would be so proud of you."